let's just start with some lateral squats. So we're going to squat down all the way down to our right. Lift your toes with your left foot, roll your ankle to the left, and roll it the other way. And switch. Squat all the way to your left side. Roll your right ankle one way and then the other. And back to your right and to your left. And we're just opening up the front of the hips here, keeping the core pulled in, keeping the shoulder blades down the back. And again, if you want to add that ankle roll, you can. Just get the ankles loose to prepare for the rest of the exercises. We want to strengthen the ankles so we have a solid foundation. And don't mind my finger. I made myself a homemade tourniquet because I cut my finger really bad and deep while I was opening up a wine bottle last night. So luckily it's gonna be okay, and I think my tourniquet worked. All right, so let's go into some hip mobility. So we want to take a seat and we kind of want to go into our Z sit position, even on both sits bones, and we're just gonna work on some hip mobility. So I want to diagonal myself to the left, and then I'm just going to switch my knees and diagonal myself to the right. See how my left hip went up? We want to keep the hip down so that the sits bones stay even. And then again, just work on the hip mobility. See if you can do it without lifting one of your hips up. And remember to just keep the belly button to the spine. Okay, one more each side. Keep the rib cage directly over the pelvis. And then come center, so mat, feet together, knees out wide, and let's go into our butterfly stretch. Just try to press the knees down towards the mat. Sit up nice and tall. Make sure your rib cage is right over the bowl of your pelvis. Pull that belly button tighter in and lower your shoulders away from your ears. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, let it out through your mouth. On this next one, really try to fill the belly and the lungs. Go taller through the spine. Press your knees down towards the mat. And exhale. As you exhale, pull the abs in. Good. Let's just do a nice little lower back stretch. So right foot out, left foot stays in. Even on the sits bones, sit up nice and tall. Think of your rib cages coming up and over your pelvis as you go taller through the spine, and try to touch your right toes. So it's kind of a lateral side bend here, and we're getting that nice lower back stretch on the left side. And center, let's switch and do the other side. Also feeling this in my groin too. So again, sits bones even, nice and tall, rib cage grow taller, and then the rib cage comes up and over the pelvis to the left, trying to touch your left toes. This does enough for me that I feel the stretch in my lower right side, but if I want to deepen it, I can try to reach my head down towards my knee. Breathing still. And then let's come back up. Let's go into a lunge position, and we're just going to work on a little bit of hip flexors. So right foot forward, left foot back. Hips are even and in line, and we're sitting up nice and tall, arms up to the ceiling. Little bit of a back extension. Come back up, and then I want you to just tuck your pelvis. So you're going to do a pelvic tilt where your pubic bone goes forward, and then you're going to do a pelvic tilt back where your hip bones go forward. So pubic bone forward, tucking, and pubic bone back. And when you tuck the pubic bone forward, you should feel that nice stretch down the front of the left thigh. And let's do that a few more times, trying to keep everything in line with the rib cage and the abdominal wall connected. And again, you're just making an anterior tilt with your pelvis and then a posterior tilt with your pelvis. And one more each way. And then let's just get a nice spine twist. Right hand down, left arm up, twist. And bring it back. Other side. Right foot back, left foot forward. Find your balance. Find your evenness in your hips. Press your right foot down into the mat for stability and balance. And then let's start to raise the arms up. Go into your slight back extension without moving the hips up or down or forward or back. Come back up. And then let's start to do our pelvic tilt. So posterior tilt, pubic bone comes forward, pubic bone goes back. So it's just movement in the hips. It doesn't have to be too drastic, but as you tuck the tailbone forward, you'll feel that lengthening down the front of the thigh, and you'll get that nice hip flexor stretch. And let's do a couple more here. Remembering to keep everything tight in the waist and not allowing the shoulders to come up towards the ears. And let's do two more. And again, let's get a nice spine twist. Right hand down, or left hand down. Right arm up, twist to the right. Breathe. And come back. Let's get a nice thigh stretch here. Press the feet down into the mat. Legs stay hip width apart. Arms out in front, shoulder blades down. Press into the tops of your feet where your shoelaces would be. And just lean back. Use the core here. Nice and tight, and lift back up. Inhale as you go back. Body stays straight from the knees to the crown of the head. Exhale, lift up. And just two more here. Last one. Inhale back. Exhale, lift. Good. Arms down. And just a couple cat-cow stretches. Tuck the tailbone and send the tailbone up. And go as slow as you need to. As you tuck the tailbone, let the shoulder blades fall apart, and then as you send the tailbone up, bring the shoulder blades together. So we're stretching the lower back, but we're stretching the upper back as well, and starting to work those muscles that connect our shoulder blades to our rib cage. Good. Good, so let's come up and grab our weights, and we'll come to a standing position on our mat, and we're gonna do a little set here, starting with some shoulder presses. So arms out wide, we're gonna go for 3 shoulder presses. 1, 2, 3. Opposite elbow to knee. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. And you can play around with this. If you want to go in sets of 4, you can. I'm going to keep doing 3s. But just make sure everything is in line here. And you're staying nice and tall. You have a nice solid tripod of support in the feet. And we're just going to start to energize through the spine and the core. Get the blood moving. And pick up the heart rate a little bit. Okay, bring the arms out wide. We're gonna do another set with threes. We're gonna go biceps 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna kick, 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 out wide. 1, 2, 3, kick, kick, kick. 2, 3, kick, kick. And just remember to breathe. Find your breathing pattern that works best for you. 2, 3. Also working on, balance and coordination here. And again, if you want to go in sets of 4 or 5 even, you can. I'm just gonna stick with 3. Bicep work, shoulder work, and side body work. Let's do one more set after this one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're gonna go 3 triceps and same elbow to knee. So tricep kickback. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Using the obliques to lift the legs up to the elbows. Staying connected through the back and the shoulder blades here. And not letting the rib cage pop open. And staying long through the neck. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's just do one more set. And release. So a little set with 4 lunges and 4 squats, and we're gonna do it 4 times. So standing on one side of your mat, we're just gonna step the left foot forward, hammer curl, release, and other side, release. 4, and then we're going to bicep curl as we squat down 4 times. That's one set. Let's go to number 2. So hammer curl lunge, hammer curl lunge, 3, 4, and bicep curl squat, 2, 3, 4, and third set. 1, 2. Just go as low as you can. Try to get as low as possible to get the most glute activation, glute work. And last set. And back up, shake everything out. Okay, this next one, I'm tired. This next one is a little bit challenging, and I like to do it off of my mat on just the hardwood floor because I find it's easier to balance. But we're gonna start with the weights up overhead, right knee lifted. We're gonna go into our single leg RDL, and then we're gonna lift the weights back up, pull the knee back up. So try to keep a flat back, and we're just moving the right leg now. The left leg stays planted on the ground. And find what breath pattern works best for you. Trying to keep the hips symmetrical here. Let's do 2 more and then we'll switch. Woo. Other side. Okay. And again, if you need to modify, just don't bring that knee up. Just go back and then bring it down to the ground. So weights up, knee up. If you don't want the knee up, just keep that toe down. Lower the weights as the leg goes back. Lift the weights as the knee comes up. Ooh. Lots of balance here. Just making sure we don't have any incorrect alignment through the body. Ooh. I find pointing the toe to help with my balance. And 2 more here. Woo. And bring it back up. Again, shake it out. Okay, we're gonna go into a tricep kick back with a backwards kick. And then we're gonna switch every time. So it's tricep kick back, pull it forward, lower the foot, switch, 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 switch. If you wanna get your chest more parallel to the ground, that way you can get that kick a little bit higher. That will help turn on the back of the legs a little bit more. But if you need to stay up, that's fine too. Just do what feels most comfortable for you. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower down. Okay, this next one is a bit challenging, so if you need to modify, that's fine. But we're going to lift the weights straight up as we lift the right leg up. And then we're gonna lift the weights out wide as we lift the right leg out wide. And then switch. Left leg up with the weights, left leg out with the weights. Down and switch. So it's just about moving the arms and the legs in 2 separate directions without losing the balance, without losing the correct body alignment. So keeping the ribs knitted, keeping the hips square. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Roll the shoulders. Okay, last standing exercise. Bring your stance out to a wide position, wider than your shoulders, a little bit externally rotated. We're just gonna do some lateral squats with opposite side punch. So to the left, punch to the right, punch to the left. And again, you can get as low down in your squats as you'd like, but just send the hips back as you bend the knee, and then punch opposite direction. Don't forget to keep the core tight. The powerhouse is gonna help make sure we're activating all the correct muscles and get rid of those muscular imbalances and fix our posture. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. And walk the feet in. And let's just do a nice lateral side bend to the right and to the left. Again, try to stay long and tall through the spine. And 1 more to the right. And 1 more to the left. Let's come center, reach the arms up, feet parallel, hip distance apart. Let's just do a nice little extension and then tuck the chin and forward fold, rolling all the way down. Try to get your hands down to the ground and just pedal out the legs a little bit, bend one knee and then the other. And continue to tuck the belly button in and up. Let the neck roll one direction and then the other. Let's roll all the way back up and come down onto our side, onto our mat. Okay. We want to come all the way to our side, stay up on your forearm here, and you want your spine in line with the back of the mat and your legs at a forward diagonal towards the front corner of your mat. And we're going to start with the weight in your top hand. You don't really need it in your bottom hand. Send it overhead, stay nice and long here, and we're going to go elbow to knee, reach it back out, and then we're going to go weight to foot. So it's knee, elbow, weight to foot. And each time you switch, you're reaching that weight up overhead. Try not to let that bottom shoulder creep up towards your ear. Keep that shoulder blade down and just stay long through the neck. Don't let your head droop, and try not to overwork the neck too much. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. And then come all the way down, lay down on your side. Let's bend the front foot, or the top foot in front, bottom leg stays long, and we're just gonna lift and lower to get some inner thigh work on the bottom leg. And you can rest your head in your hand, or if you'd like to lay all the way down, that's an option as well. 3, 4, 5. Both legs out long, and we're gonna lift both legs up. So really stay tight in the core and the obliques, and we're gonna lift and lower, lift and lower, and lower, lift and lower. 4, 3, these top obliques really working to lift, and last one, lower back down. Just going to lift both legs up, hold it, and flutter kick. Flutter kick, flutter kick, flutter kick. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the legs back down. Grab that weight again and bend your elbow. Send that weight behind your head so the elbow's out wide. Lift the top leg up and hold. You're going to kick the top leg forward as you send the elbow back, and I'm hitting my plant, and then bring it center, and then bring the elbow forward as you send the leg back. So you're using your core a lot here to keep yourself stable as you're moving your arm and leg in opposite directions. So we're getting that expansion through the chest as we send the elbow back, and then that flexion through the thoracic spine as we go forward. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. And lower down. And then let's turn and do that on our other side. Okay, so legs at a forward diagonal, spine in line with the back of your mat. Again, you can have your head propped up on your hand. And then let's start with the weight in the top hand with the arm overhead. And then we're just gonna go elbow to knee and then weight to foot. Elbow to knee, sorry, weight to foot. And that bottom leg is working as much as the top leg to just keep you stable here. Again, try not to let the shoulders creep up. We go for 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower back down. And then while we still have the weight, let's just go into our forward kick and opposite movement with our chest. So elbow bent, weight behind the head, leg up. We're gonna send the leg back as we send our upper body forward, come center, and then open up that shoulder and send that elbow back as the leg goes forward. Creating that stabilization through the powerhouse, obliques working, transverse abdominals working. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. I always forget that I'm gonna hit my plants. Okay, so let's get rid of the weight now and let your top arm, your top hand rest in front of you for balance if you need. Bend your top leg and lift that bottom leg up for some inner thigh work. Send your sits bones away from you so that you're not creeping up and sending either one of the hips up towards the rib cage. 3, 2, 1. Both legs out. Double leg lift and lower. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Really now using this opposite side to lift. Try not to collapse through the ribs. And lift, hold, and flutter kick. Flutter kick, flutter kick, flutter kick. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. And come up really quick. Let's just touch our toes and get a nice lower back stretch. See how much far you can go. Try to straighten the legs. If you need to bend the knees, that's okay. Send the chin down towards the chest. And slowly roll back up. And then let's bend left foot over the right leg, right elbow over the left knee, and twist to the left to get that seated lower back stretch here. And then let's switch sides. Right foot over left knee, left elbow over right knee, twist to the right. And back to center. And let's get into our ab set. So we're going to start again on our side body, and we're on our forearm here, bottom arm, forearm. Legs are out long, grab your weight again. So for this one, we are gonna have arm up overhead, nice and long, just like how we started for the last exercise. We're going to twist and tap and reach back out. So more abs now. We're lifting the legs all the way up into a kind of side body modified teaser. And then lengthening back out. Let's go for 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, lower down. Okay, so now we're gonna do something similar, but we're gonna keep the knees bent. So arm overhead, knees are bent, and we're gonna still twist. We're gonna go elbow to knee and then twist back to the side. Elbow to knee and twist. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. And lower down, switch. Let's do that on the other side. This one is tricky and very hard. Okay, so other arm, forearm down, legs out, arm up overhead, and let's go into our twist and tap. Go out long, twist and tap. Whew. And I like to inhale as I reach long, exhale as I lift, because I feel I get more power and core activation when I exhale. But you can control your breath however you like, whatever gives you the most energy and power in the movement. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And lower down. Bent knee twist. So arm overhead, knees are bent. Same exercise, but we keep elbow and knees bent as we twist, and then bring it back. just staying nice and lengthened here as we reach the arm overhead. Using that side body oblique to help lift the knees up. Let's go for 3, 2, last one. And bring the weight down. Come to a seated position on your mat. Okay, let's do some more abs because it's gonna be a nice little ab burn routine today. So let's just have our feet parallel, hip distance apart. Knees are bent, arms are out long in front of us. Pull the shoulder blades down. Stay nice and tall, and let's tuck the tailbone, roll back halfway. Hold it here. And let's just do a little rotation to the left, center, a little rotation to the right, to the left, to the right. Hold it here, pulse. Pulse, really engage deeper into those lower abdominals. And then see if you can hold, lift the arms up with the eyes, lower down. Arms and eyes lift and back out. Keep that C curve. 2 more times. And down. Hold it here. Left leg up, right leg up. Hold it. Hands together. Russian twist, side to side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Center. And lower the legs down, lift up. And let's slowly roll all the way down, arms down, tuck the tailbone. Roll nice and slow until you come all the way down. And then let's get a nice laying down spine twist. Right knee goes all the way up and over to the left side, all the way to the ground if you can get it there. And just stretch out the lower back. And then let's switch left knee up and over. Whew. And catch your breath. And then back to center. So we're gonna do this nice little ab set here in groups of 4. So feet are parallel, hip distance apart, and you can go into an imprinted spine if you need to protect the lower back a little bit more. Arms out long, we're just gonna lift up into a crunch and lower down 4 times. So 2, 3, 4, hold it there. And we're gonna lift the legs up and we're gonna toe tap 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Straighten the legs. Scissor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hands behind the head. Crisscross. 1, 2, 3, 4. And lower everything back down. So that's the set, and we're going to do that 4 more times, okay? So 4 crunches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stay lifted, legs up, toe taps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Scissor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crisscross. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower down. Whew. 3 more times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stay lifted, toe tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Scissor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crisscross. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down. Let the knees fall side to side. 2 more. Up, down, up, down. Pull the heels towards you. Lift, hold, toe tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Scissor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crisscross. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower down. Last set. Really try to keep the spine stable. I keep going in and out of imprint and neutral, so I'm just going to stay in neutral for this one. So exhale, lift. 3, 4. And try to keep that 90-degree angle in the legs. Legs straight as possible. And crisscross. And lower down. Hug the knees into the chest. Roll side to side a couple times. Release any tension you're holding in your lower back. Good job. That one is hard. So legs go out long, and we're gonna go to our wide elbows, hands behind the head, and we're just gonna go into our single leg crisscross scissor. So elbow to knee, same leg, hand to foot. Opposite side, elbow to knee, hand to foot. And just letting the legs go out long in between to get that lengthening right after we contract and work the muscle. Let's go for 3, 2, and last one. Lower everything down, reach the arms out long, reach the legs out long, pull the shoulder blades down, and take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Okay, bend the knees, and we're gonna go into our bridges. So let's just reach with the fingertips, pull the shoulders down, start in your neutral spine, and let's just do a couple pelvic tilts here, warming up the lower back. So tuck the tailbone and flatten the back on the mat, and then send the tailbone down towards the ground and lift the lower back off. And just tilt anterior and then posterior tilt in the pelvis here. Using the lower abs here to help move the lower spine. And find your neutral spine. Reach with the arms, and then let's start to go into our articulating bridge. So let's tuck the tailbone, flatten the back, pull the hips off the ground, and peel one spine off the mat at a time. Lift the hips up, create that straight line from shoulder, hip to knee. Keep the rib cage connected here, and then exhale and roll the spine all the way back down, one vertebrae at a time. A couple more times here, focusing on the contact that the feet have with the ground and really creating that nice support with the tripod pressure in the foot. Big toe, pinky toe, and heel are all pressing down evenly into the ground. And press the palms into the mat as well to turn on the back of the arms and pull the shoulders away from the earlobes. And let's do 3 more. Really focus on squeezing the glutes at the top. And lower all the way back down. Good, let's go into some single leg work, but let's start with some hinge bridges. So keep reaching, pressing the palms down into the mat. Lift the hips and lower, lift and lower. So just a quicker movement without too much movement in the spine. It stays nice and flat here as we press the ASIS bones up towards the sky. Little squeezes with the glutes as we lift. Stay lifted. Right leg straight up and lower down. Left leg straight up and lower down. See if you can do this alternating without a lot of movement in the hips. We want to keep them very still here. Just working on that pelvic stability and attaching the abs in with the control, and then keeping them attached to the rib cage as the rib cage stays knitted and doesn't pop open. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly lower the hips down. Let the knees fall side to side to release any pressure in the lower back. Send the legs out long. And let's roll up to go into our prone series. So arms up to the ceiling, tuck the chin, exhale, roll up, touch the toes, reach, stretch out that lower spine, pull the belly in, sit up nice and tall, and just twist to the left, twist to the right, twist to the left, and to the right. And then let's turn on to our stomach and lay all the way down flat. You can bring your forehead to the ground, hands right under the shoulders,
Legs out long, pressing the tops of the feet, shoelaces right into the ground. Lifting the chest up, pulling the belly in, lengthening through the spine, growing tall as we lift, and then lower back down. So think of pulling your shoulder blades down as you lift the chest and lower. And think of pressing the pubic bone and the hips into the mat as you pull the belly button up. Just getting a little bit of back work here, keeping the legs in contact with the ground. So we're using the front of the legs to keep us grounded here. You don't have to come up very high. And just think of disconnecting the top half of your body from the bottom half. So focus on keeping the legs grounded, but focus more on the waist up, on lengthening and reaching, and keeping the belly muscles pulled in and the back muscles pulling down. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And lower all the way down. And let's go into a nice little plank. So you can stay on your forearms here, or you can go up all the way onto your hands. Elbows right under the shoulders. We're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips up, hover here, and hold. Reach long through the neck. Take a deep breath. Let's hold this here for a little bit longer than usual. If you want to go into some saws, you can send the heels back and kind of move from the shoulders and the heels, or from the shoulders and the ankles. Full body engagement. Every muscle is working. And I'm shaking a little bit. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees, lower the arms, and reach out long, nice and long, and rest the forehead down. All right, let's come up to a hydrant series position. So quadruped position, and let's have the legs, the knees hip distance apart, the hands right under the shoulders. And let's just start with sending the right knee out and back in, out and in. And just focus on keeping those hips in line. So we're not lifting that hip up with the knee, we're keeping the hips even as the knee lifts. 3, 2, 1, down. Stay connected through the top of the back, and left knee out and in. Always hitting my plans. Out. So really working the front of the hip here, inner thigh, and outer hip as well. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower down. And let's get a little bit of coordination. So we're gonna send right arm forward, left leg back, balance, and send it back down, switch. Left arm forward, right leg back, balance, and back down. Let's hold it here, reach, and pulse up. Really stabilizing through that right leg, and lower down. Other side, reach and lift up, pulse. Stay long through the neck, don't let the chin come down. 3, 2, 1, lower. And a couple cat-cow stretches again. Again, letting the shoulder blades come together in your in your cow, and apart in your cat. And then let's come all the way down to our butt. Open up the knees, reach the arms out long for a nice child's pose, and then just let the hips shift side to side. Inhale and exhale, opening up the chest and the belly as you inhale, and contracting the abs, pulling the rib cage together as you exhale. And let's slowly roll the spine back up.
And finish with a nice side body bend. Hips, sits bones are even. Z sit. Left arm down, right arm up and over. And lift, other side. Nice and tall to the right. And back up, and we're all done. Thanks for joining me, and stay healthy. Hopefully we'll be together sooner than we think.